So there are so many 98 square inch rackets on the market that it can be really hard to navigate the sea of nearly identical frames. Tennis is so subjective. It's very rare that you see an objectively bad or good frame. So today we're going to make a tier list. Right, so first up we've got the Boom Pro. The Boom Pro is really interesting because it's one of the few objectively bad rackets. It doesn't really have any cool endorsements, though Mussetti's using the paint, but I think he's still using Extreme Tour underneath. I don't think he's fooling anybody on the Tennis Warehouse forum. The launch angle is incredibly inconsistent with way too much power in the center of the string bed and nothing up top, so that is D tier. Next up we've got the Bablut Puredrive VS. I do not get the point of this racket. One, it's like way too expensive, it's so stupid. Plus, buying them in pairs, they end up being like well over $300 each just for some quality control that Bablut should probably be doing from the factory. The next thing is there's like no cool sponsorships. Botreyes, who's Nakashima's coach, actually uses it, so that's like kind of cool, but that's niche cool. You're not really gonna know. In other words, it's just a Bablut racket. It's like, who really needs more control from their Puredrive? The whole point of the Puredrive is that you get all the power. So now it's just got the crappy Puredrive feel with none of the extra power. That's a C tier. Next we have the Clash Pro. So the Clash Pro's been stiffened up a little bit. Definitely better for advanced users than it used to be. But that said, if you're an advanced user, do you really want to look like you're using a 3.5's racket? No. While the paint job is like pretty sick, it's still for 3.5's, C tier. Alright, so now we've got the Pure Strike 16x19. An absolute crowd favorite, but I don't like it that much. The 16x19 is a little bit too launchy for me, considering it's a control-oriented racket. I don't love the feel, though it's definitely improved over the previous one. Still a bit more muted than I would like. I'd like a little bit more responsiveness, though the off-center performance is pretty good. I think this is maybe the most average racket here, so B tier. Now we've got the Radical Pro. So this one's kind of cool. It's got a more of an old school feel with a modern twist, I guess. Really nicely control oriented, a great balance, 16x19 pattern. A lot of other people really seem to like it, but the endorsements are weak. I guess Diego Schwartzman, he's pretty cool, but he's only cool if you're a tennis nerd. I also really like Taylor Fritz, but a lot of other people don't. I think this is a B tier racket as well. The MP I like more, but other people don't like it as much. I think that balances it out. I think my opinion is equal to everyone else's combined. So the V-Core 98. Definitely, in my opinion, a step above the Pure Strike 98. That said, you don't have any really cool endorsements. Now that Chapeau's not using that paint job anymore, who are you supposed to emulate? I don't think a lot of people are like really like hyped on playing like Angelique Kerber. And because of that, it's still a B tier racket. Blade 98 16x20. Tsitsipas does have some fans out there, and now that he's just revolutionized the tennis world with the bathroom break rule that we wouldn't have seen without for him, he's definitely got an increased cool factor, not to mention his desire to be on-court coached by his papi. Although Milos Raonic is like pretty sick. I shook his hand once. That was epic. And I think the Blade is actually like pretty good, though it's lost some of that classic Blade magic. It's still like a decent frame, so I'm gonna say A tier. The 16x19 blade is too easy to use. In my opinion, it's become just like a 3.5 4.0 racket because of how easy it is to swing. If you're okay with customizing, you might as well just get like an Extreme Tour or something that's actually good. So B tier. Prestige. I admit to have not tried the newest Prestige yet, though I hope to try it soon. Seems like a really incremental improvement. Definitely I've heard that it is better than the last one. One big cool factor is Andy Murray is now using the Auxetic MP mold, or I guess now it's the Pro mold with a PT57A layup. I would absolutely love to try that one. But this is pretty cool. It's got a really nice paint job with kind of like a red carbon pattern on it. So A tier, definitely. It's unique in the market too with just how flexy it is, but it still has like pretty good access to spin. The Extreme Tour, this is my racket of choice. S tier, automatically. Like, how could you not? I've already said it's the best, so just get out of here. Now the 18x20 Pure Strike. Definitely better than the 16x19, so we know it's minimum B tier. Plus, it's got a Dominic TM endorsement, takes it up another notch. I actually think it's really good because you've got that insane predictability from the 18x20 pattern, but you've also got a ton of power outside the sweet spot, so A tier. The E zone, is this S tier or not? So I didn't really like the newest one. I definitely would have a hard time switching to it, although maybe if I put some time into customizing it, we'd be better off. Paint job is mediocre, although I've been liking it more because I realized it's like the classic Yonex logo colors, green and blue, so that's cool. Plus, the endorsements are just sick. You've got Kyrgios, who's a GOAT. You've got Cocky, who's a GOAT. They're playing dubs this week as well. Just won the Australian Open doubles. Like, does it get any better than those two? Absolutely not. It's S tier. The Pure Aero VS. I think this is a good racket. I think it's the best Bablut, so it's definitely got to be A tier or higher because it's really good. But it has Alcaraz endorsing it, and like when I'm feeling good on court, I just pretend I'm Carlos Alcaraz. I pretend I have giant biceps like him now. And last up, the heaviest of all of them, we've got the Pure Strike Tour. I don't totally understand this racket because it's for advanced users, obviously, because it's so heavy and like that is a hefty swing weight. But I would think an advanced user would prefer that 18x20. So I question why this one exists, but it's so stupid and like so clubby. You can hit it so hard. It's like one of the most powerful rackets you can buy right now, which is pretty epic as well. Because of that, I do think it offers something unique to the market. So it's got to be B tier. All right, so that's the list. If you're mad that I didn't include the tier 40 on this list, you should be. Tell them to send me one. I want to try it. I hear it's really good. If you want me to make some more tier lists, like for spin rackets, 100 square inch rackets, leave a like on this video.